Alright, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. We're here for SPS week number 7, going up against Kurt and his Portage Herdiers. He has a team of Latios, Rillaboom, Megalopony, Swampert, Uxie, Talonflame, Drapion, Slurpuff, Crustle, and Magnezone. Looking at his team, we see a few pretty big threats. Megalopony is a huge threat. He got it round 3 too, which is really nice. And I don't know, it's pretty hard for me to deal with because kind of the same thing as last week. My best answer to Mega Gallade was Tapu Fini, and that's kind of the same thing here. We don't really have the best defensive Pokemon on this team, but it's okay. We're somehow 5-1, and the trading deadline's has already passed, so this is the team we're rocking out with. Of course, I could, if I had Moltres still, I could run it up with that, but Lopunny probably gets a rock type move. I know Rillaboom does. So yeah. Anyway, Rillaboom is also a big threat to my team. It is pretty difficult to deal with. In fact, on this team, if he brings like a particular set or particular coverage moves, I really do not deal with it at all. But with that being said, hopefully we'll be able to do something. I feel like this is a pretty tough matchup for me. Just Rillaboom and Megalopony on their own offensively are really good against me. I wanted to bring defensive Boots Charizard, but he can bring knockoff and even rock. He probably won't run Rock Slide, but he could definitely run knockoff to get rid of my Boots. And then if he's able to get rocks up, it's kind of a problem. Like it becomes very difficult to switch in Charizard to that. So anyway, let's get into my team. I'm bringing Mega Medicham with a little bit of speed, just in case he tries to speed creep it with like Uxie or Drapion. I have a feeling he won't do that because most Mega Medichams run a lot of speed, but I'm not running a lot of speed because I don't really have to here. I don't think he'll run a lot of speed on Rillaboom. Again, I just don't see the point of him running any speed on Rillaboom unless he wants to outspeed an offensive Goodra, which I don't really see the point to that, but it could happen. You never know. So that allows us to run a good amount of bulk and an adamant nature, which is really nice. He has 2 psychic types, Latios and Uxie. I had a high jump kick here. I changed it though just to Drain Punch. I don't really feel like I need high jump kick necessarily, and I've already missed that move twice this season in pretty crucial points where it could have lost me the game. Both games I did win, but in both those situations, it was if I hit that, the game's basically over. But then it just makes it so much more complicated now that they miss. So I don't want that to happen. Not that I think we'll be in the situation where a high jump kick will win me the game in this particular battle, but I do want to have the Drain Punch there just for recovery. I had Toxic, but I switched it to Baton Pass because I want to be able to Baton Passing out against Uxie. I also want Bullet Punch for priority, and Zen Headbutt will hit Talonflame a little bit better. And it's just stronger than Drain Punch, but I'll probably be going for Drain Punch more. We'll see. I mean, it really depends on what he brings. I do get outspin. He might run a speedy Slurpuff. He might have to. Yeah, he might run enough for like a max speed Spectrier, which is. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I'd have to run like 247 speed. Whatever. I don't really care. We'll be okay. Let's just hope he doesn't get it. Well, I mean, I have Bullet Punch there for Slurpuff, so let's just hope that thing doesn't get out of hand. And yeah. So, that is the Mega Medicham set. Next up, we have Tapu Fini defensive for the Lopunny. I have Rindo Berry. It's for the Rillaboom. Ice Beam only does like 50%, iffy, like 45 to 50%. So, and with Grassy Surge, that's just damage. But hopefully he'll be aggressive with it and he'll switch it in on Finny as I can go for Nature's Madness. And then the next turn I can go for Ice Beam. He'll be really low. That's gonna be good. a good situation. And also, just if he predicts me to switch into something on the Rillaboom, that might end up working out in my favor. I can just click Ice Beam as he goes for like a U-turn or a knockoff or a high horsepower, um, and then I'll be able to get a benefit off of that. He'll change the terrain to grassy terrain, because I won't be switching into Rillaboom with this, but unless I absolutely have to. So he'll be getting health back with that. I'll be getting health back with it too, which is kind of replacing leftovers. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, this Pokemon's basically here for Mega Lopunny and Talonflame, and maybe Slurpuff, maybe Crustle. But yeah, just in general. Also nice to weaken things like Uxie with Nature's Madness, Swampert. Um, yeah, those are like the two Pokemon I'd be going for Nature's Madness against. Next up is Serena Apex with Rapid Spin, Triple Axle, Power Whip, High Jump Kick. This set worked really well in a different league, like with Wide Lens. It might have been SPDL last season, but yeah, it can really put in the work. I have enough speed for, I think, Mega Lopunny. That would make the most sense. I do have to run Jolly almost max speed just to outspeed that thing, but it's worth it because we high jump kick it for a lot of damage. Rapid Spin will boost my speed by 1, which will help in outspeeding everything. And yeah, I don't get hit if he's, Gale Wings, Talonflame could be an issue, but it's not because I don't get hit with priority moves, so I'll outspeed that thing as well. Problem is I don't really hit Talonflame with much. I don't hit Uxie too hard either. I don't hit Drapion too hard. This game is really about chip for me. If I'm able to win with Serena, it's going to be because I chipped the right mons enough. I can Oko Latios with Triple Axle. I can Oko Rillaboom with Triple Axle. I can Oko Lopunny with High Jump Kick. I can Oko Swampert. Those 4 are fine. But after that, I'm going to need chip on things. Maybe Magnezone, I might be able to Oko that with High Jump Kick. I know Magnezone has good physical defense, but Wide Lens is there just because it gives me an extra 10% on accuracy, which is really helpful for all 3 of these moves. I would love to go Expert Belt, but if I end up missing a Triple Axle, that would suck. If I end up missing a Power, that would suck. If I end up missing a High Jump Kick, that would really suck because that does a lot of damage to me. So this becomes 99%. This becomes 99%. I think this becomes like 93.5%. So that's just really good value with the Wide Lens. Next up is Spectrier. I don't really want to be running Spectrier in this matchup. I don't think it's that good because he has Lopunny and Drapion, both of which could definitely come. I could definitely see like a Scope Lens Drapion coming. But it is what it is. I still need it for Uxie. Well, it's really nice for Uxie. It's really nice for Latios. It's really nice for Talonflame because I outspeed that Pokemon. And yeah, hopefully if he switches into Drapion, I can go for Will-O-Wisp. If he switches into Lopunny, I can go for Will-O-Wisp. If he brings in Uxie on my Mega Medicham and I Baton Pass out, I figured that was a better situation, having Spectrier in against Uxie, than just going for Toxic and then having to switch, in which he probably goes for a U-turn that turn. So, whereas if I Baton Pass, get in Spectrier for free, I can click Substitute, see what he wants to do. Maybe he tries to Thunder Wave me. Maybe he just hard switches into either Drapion or Lopunny. Crit Drapion, like with the Scope Lens and Sniper, and like with Night Slash, that will be a bitch to deal with because Will-O-Wisp doesn't really affect his attack if he's getting critical hits. But we'll still try to burn him, and maybe we'll be able to knock off that Scope Lens with our next Pokemon, Muck, which is Spadef here for Latios, and for Magnezone. Those are really the 2 main Pokemon, and for Uxie, it's pretty decent for Uxie. I had the Figgy Berry, Gluttony, Recycle strategy. It's also pretty nice for Rillaboom if he doesn't bring high horsepower. I feel like high horsepower is going to be an option for him for sure. But yeah, that is basically what we're here for. There's like 3 Pokemon, but I really do need something for Latios. Latios could become a huge threat. So could Magnezone, to be honest. I don't think Magnezone comes. I think he has other threats. I think like Latios, Rillaboom, Mega Lopunny, Uxie, Talonflame, Drapion could be great. Anyway, I mean Crustle could come too. I would not be surprised. Well, I actually would be surprised to see Crustle. I think Slurpuff could also make an appearance. Swampert is a little iffy. I don't know if Swampert comes, um, but it definitely could to set up rocks and whatnot. So, but I definitely think Uxie, Rillaboom, Megalopony. Those three are kind of a lock for me. Latios is likely, Talonflame's likely. Anyway, I gotta move on. I'm taking too long here. But yeah, Toxic is also nice. Knockoff Poison Jab, pretty obvious. Last but not least, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this. Its nickname is "This is a bad idea," but that's okay because you know what? I'm gonna put these four. I'm gonna do this. I made this set like I don't know half an hour ago, and it kind of worked out. In one mock I did. It put in a little bit of work. I think it got like 2 kills, but my plan is just to lead with this and try to body slam something and do as much damage as possible. His only resistances to this are gonna be the Crustle and Magnezone, two Pokemon that are not, in my opinion, likely brings. But even if you know, they both have decent physical defense, but I don't know. I think his default switch in, if he has like a defensive Talonflame trying to get Flame Body burns, that could be a switch in. I go for Rock Tomb against that. I can also Night Slash Uxie. Everything else takes a lot of damage from Body Slam, and then Sucker Punch for priority could catch something off guard like a Latios or a maybe if Megalopony is really weak, maybe if Slurpuff's really weak, maybe if we need to kill Crustle if it's gotten out of hand with Shell Smash. So that's the team. We're 5-1. If we lose, it's not the end of the world. But next week we do face Luffy, and he is undefeated so far. So if we lose here, and then we lose next week, which I'm not saying we will, but I'm saying it's likely that we will lose next week, then it might come down to week 9. If we can make playoffs. It's like I said last week. Our differential is not good, so I don't know if we make it being 5-4. But we're not going to look too far ahead. We're going to look at this battle. We're going to try to win. Like I said, I don't like the matchup, but we will see how it goes. I'm going to cut to the battle right here, and yeah, wish me luck. I'll see you there. All right, here we are in the battle, going up against Kurt and his Portage Herdiers. He brings a team of Megalopony, Drapion, Swampert, Uxie, Rillaboom, and Latios. So nothing too out of the ordinary. Only thing I predicted probably in front of Drapion, or instead of Drapion, is Talonflame. I thought Talonflame had more of a chance to come, but it makes sense that he brought Drapion instead. It's definitely a threat to my team, for sure. Gets like Earthquake for Muck, does a lot of damage to Finny, can beat Spectre pretty well, pretty easily. So he did not bring Talonflame, Slurpuff, Crustle, or Magnezone. Wasn't expecting Crustle or Magnezone either, which is good. It means I can kind of just lead with Slaking and do a lot of damage to something with Body Slam. Yeah, I'm going to lead with Slaking. I'm predicting he could lead a few things. Uxie could lead off. He could lead Megalopony and get the Mega Evolution off real quick. He could lead Rillaboom. So there's a few different things. I'm going to keep this battle on really slow because this battle's pretty quick, I think, and a lot of times even if it's on slow, I'll just kind of get caught up in my thought process, and then I'll be behind on the battle, and I'll just say, well, a few turns later, so and so. And I want to make sure I go in depth with the battle. So this might be the only one that's really slow. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I might change back to slow later on, or like next week, for example. But anyway, with that being said, we're gonna hop right into it, and the music's on. Okay, so this is really slow. He's gonna lead with Uxie, which is fine. I'm predicting like maybe Stealth Rocks on this thing. He might just lead with that. I'm just gonna go straight away for a Body Slam. I didn't want to go for Night Slash. It wasn't going to do too much more than Body Slam. And I thought maybe if he switches, we'll be able to get off a lot of damage. He does switch into Swampert. I do 69%. Okay, I'm not laughing. And I get the Paralyzation on him. Paralyzation, does that make any sense? I don't But yeah, and just by like looking at the chat, he's saying that he didn't prep for slaking. I already got a lot of damage on a Swampert. I paralyzed him. He's probably a little bit jarred, so he does flip turn 2, gets in Megalopony as I'm loafing around. Then he doubles into Yuxi. I don't know what he was predicting. He might have been predicting the Finny here, but I'm just gonna body slam again, and I get a critical hit on him. So it does 81%. So that would have been a 2KO regardless, but I am able to get a crit there. I was thinking basically I thought the Finny switching was pretty obvious. I didn't think he'd go for a fighting type attack there, so it kind of worked out in my favor. I switched into Finny this time, and he goes for a Reflect. So I'm thinking this is definitely a light clay set. And here I bring in Spectrier because I was hoping that he would maybe go for a light screen so that I could substitute and kind of stall out the turns of the screens. But he goes for U-turn, which is what I did not want him to do because Misty Terrain is up for another 3 turns, so I just kind of have to substitute repeatedly and hope to Will-O-Wisp him later. If I have to Uproar, I'll do that. He doesn't have a light screen up, so that's good. But I was thinking like if he goes for like a Focus Energy or an Agility, I'll probably just click Uproar. But he just clicks Knockoff. The way he brought it in, I really thought it would be like a crit Drapion, but seeing Knockoff instead of Night Slash tells me he's probably not that set. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just spamming Substitute because I want to wear down his turns of Reflect, and I also want to wear down the Misty Terrain turns. So I go for Substitute one more time. Realistically, I probably should have gone for it again after this turn, just again to burn the turns of Reflect. It doesn't really lose anything for me to go for Substitute again. I'm basically sacking Spectrier to get a burn on this Drapion because looking at this matchup, I just don't see how Spectrier can do much, and I didn't want to switch into Muck here, just in case he, I didn't want my Figgy Berry to get knocked off. But yeah, I also just was like, okay, Spectrier, as long as you land this burn, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, buddy. So I get a burn on him, which is nice, definitely helpful. His Reflect is down to, is it 3 turns or 2 turns? It's 2 turns. Okay, I bring in Mega Metachamp because he's burned, and even though he has a Reflect up, it's not really a problem. He goes into Yuxi, Boob Guy, and I click Drain Punch here. Pretty safe stuff. It's going to do 10%. I didn't want to risk getting like a min roll, so the next turn I just click Zen Headbutt, risking the miss, of course, but that's going to knock him out. Crit obviously did not matter. I'm doing more with Zen Headbutt than Drain Punch, so now the Reflect is gone, so screens are gone completely. His screen setter is dead, so we don't have to worry about that. He gets a free switch into Latios here. I was thinking I could probably live a hit, but I don't really have much to hit this thing with. If I did stay in, I probably just would have gone for like a Zen Headbutt. But my obvious switch was Muck, and he predicted that and went to Drapion. I'm thinking, even if he has Earthquake, it's not really a problem because he's burned, and I have a Figgy Berry. But he goes for Sand Tomb, which is a little bit scary because that's going to trap me in. I knock off his Binding Band. I'm going to actually figure out what that does because I kept telling myself, I don't know if Binding Band just does more damage for each, like, Sand Tomb thing, or if it just traps you in for, like, 8 turns instead of 5 turns. I wasn't sure. So, honestly, I'm going to look it up right now, and we'll find out together, but unless you already know. So he gets a Toxic Spike up, so I'm thinking this set is, like, tailored for Muck, because his plan is to trap me in with the Binding Band and then get up Toxic Spikes so that I'm pretty sure Toxic Spikes activate before Misty Terrain does. So Finny's going to get Toxic in that case. So I'm just hoping, and then I click Recycle here. Wait, sorry, not this turn. I'm just clicking Poison Jab, just trying to weaken this Drapion. I'm thinking Serena has a really good, okay, so it just does 1/6 of your health instead of 1/8. The Binding Band does, so that's good for him. But yeah, here he clicks Sand Tomb again. Where was I? So I don't know, it's kind of like Light Clay. If you already go for a Reflect and then knock off the item, the Light Clay still is an effect for that Reflect. I don't know if that's the same with Binding Band. He's doing like 17% to me. So I'm pretty sure that's a sixth. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's fine. Um, what's crazy here is he only has one. No, he has 2 layers, right? And I thought I was gonna die to the sand tube, but it wears off that turn, so I'm alive at 3%, so I can switch out. Basically, just switching out because I want to get the toxic spikes off the field. Um, but he goes for the knockoff, does 15%. Spectre is gonna pick up the passive kill on this mon, and that is really good because right at team preview, I didn't really say this, but right at team preview, I'm like, I need to weaken Yuxi and Drapion, and then Serena can go the hell in. Okay, it really can. So both of those mons are not only weakened, but they're gone completely. So that's great for me. I'm gonna bring in Muck to get rid of the toxic spice. I had a feeling he'd just go for like a move to kill me. If he went for like a Calm Mind, I could just toxic it the next turn. But yeah, so I can bring in basically here. I'm like, okay, you're at -2 special attack. I can bring in Slate King, basically get a free kill with Body Slam, or at least weaken something drastically. But it was kind of a foolish play. I should have brought in Serena right away. So to make up for that play, I double into Serena, predicting him to sack the Swampert. Because I was thinking he doesn't really have much use for the Swampert. It's already paralyzed. That's probably his one Pokemon his most expendable Pokemon. So I do that. I get the play right. So I'm able to just Rapid Spin here, even if he has Ice Punch. Only does like half health to me if he's non-invested. So, and judging by the Body Slam damage from like turn 1, he's got to have a good amount of defense investment on that Pokemon. Not fully, but a good amount. So I Rapid Spin as he brings in Rillaboom to get the speed boost. And I go for Triple Axle here. I am Wide Lens, so as you saw in the Team Builder, so I'm going to be able to... I have 99% accurate Triple Axles there, and so that's great. But he's going to double into Swampert. I'm not sure. Maybe he was scouting for something. I don't really know. Maybe he was, panicking. I don't know. I go for Power Whip there, even though I could have Rapid Spun again, because he could still have Choice Scarf Latios in the back, or Choice Scarf Rillaboom for all I know. So I could Rapid Spin again, but I'm thinking it's not really worth potentially losing this arena. Here he goes for Grassy Glide, so I really could have Rapid Spun there. I guess he just forgot about Queenly Majesty. That wouldn't have done much anyway. Grassy Terrain would have helped me out too. So yeah, we get the Triple Axle and we knock that Pokemon out. Next he's going to bring in Latios, and a Modest Draco doesn't even kill me. Modest Mystical Fire does less than Draco to me, and a Modest Draco should not knock me out anyway, if he is Scarfed. So and that's the only way he'd outspeed me. He brings in Mega Lopunny, and I just High Jump Kick for the kill, which is, I mean, that got me excited. I'm not going to lie, that was pretty cool to see. Just at OHKOing that thing. And at this point, he already said GG, so I'm assuming that Latios does not have the Choice Scarf on him. So I'm just going to click Triple Axle here, and we do 16, and then 32, or 36, and then 48 damage. So we're able to actually knock him out there, which is awesome. We connected all 3, which I was expecting, because again, 99% accurate. And yeah, and last but not least, he brings out the Swampert, and I'm just going to Power Whip here and knock it out. So, not going to lie, that's probably the best battle I've had this season. Not everything went to plan, that's not true, but the fact that we were able to knock out Yuxi and Drapion, and after Drapion went down, even though I had lost basically my Muck, I had lost my Spectre, my Medicham was toxic, I still felt comfortable. And Finny, I think Finny made like 1 appearance in the whole battle, and it didn't even do anything. It switched right back out. So yeah, that was a plus. I mean, this whole battle it's my best win this season at a 4-0. We lock ourselves in playoffs. We're 6-1 now, plus 11 differential, which is nice. And even if we lose the last 2 battles, we'll be guaranteed playoffs pretty much. Which is awesome. I don't know if I'm gonna run like completely heat sets. I've already built for week 8 against Luffy and his Straw Hat Rayquazas. He's undefeated, so that's gonna be a fun one. And again, I don't really care if I win or lose that one, because it's just it's just for fun because I'm already in playoffs, which was my goal. Honestly, my goal was my first goal was get above 500, so 5-4 at least, and then my next goal was to make playoffs. We're already in that. So Serena with this game is like it's already 7 kills and 1 death, which is awesome, and so it's already like 13th on the MVP standings, which is crazy. But it's only come to 2 battles. Anyway, GG to Kurt. Um, I think honestly the first few turns with the paralyze on Swampert and then the crit on Yuxi, it kind of just was a little jarring for him, and I understand that because that's kind of how I am. If like a low tier Pokemon comes, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really prep for Crustle. I kind of just slapped defensive Finny on the team and said, yeah, that's my Crustle prep, and that's probably what he did. He slaps Yuxi on the team, that's his Slaking prep, but or defensive Swampert. Didn't really work out for him, but if I was prepping against my own team, I probably would not do that much for Slaking except bring Protect on maybe 1 or 2 Pokemon. But even then, it's it's just tough, and I understand that, and that's kind of how I play. If the first few turns don't go my way, it's kind of like just a bad omen for the rest of the battle. So it's something I try to work on and everything. But yeah, Kurt's still doing pretty well, I believe. I believe he's still 5-2 after this one. So he should be in a good position to make playoffs too. We might see him there again. Let me know how you think about the really slow versus the slow. I know this is a pretty long commentary. It's above 14 minutes already, but I thought I was able to definitely explain my thoughts and my thought process a little bit better with the battle being more slow, more drawn out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. My website's in the description below. And that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.